But in our next session, we want to focus on what you can do with Unearth right now. I'm excited to share how we're expanding Unearth's original product line, OnePlace, into a full product line that will help you better manage your work. Joining me today to help introduce geospatial work management are two of my trusted colleagues. Ali Fury, our product design manager, will show you how easy it is to work well, all of your work when it's managed in one place. Joining Ali is Gabe Martinez, product manager for Unearth's field applications, who will help us understand just how field apps can improve productivity, both in the field and back in the office. And lastly, I'll share with you two new data management capabilities that will allow your teams to take advantage of third-party data sets and custom templated reports to make it even easier for your field staff to manage their work. But before we talk more about what these products do, I'd like to talk about why we created them in the first place. I think that all of us can agree that paper is temporary, but regulatory requirements are forever. Maintaining documentation over the lifetime of any capital asset can be a difficult task. But as Ryan Edwards alluded to earlier, it becomes something else entirely when the lifetime of these assets can extend well beyond 50 years. Federal regulations require the construction and maintenance records for gas pipelines, transmission, and distribution lines are stored for the life of operation. This creates a tremendous task for IT personnel and field crews alike as they attempt to reconcile disparate Excel spreadsheets, access databases, and other tools. The stakes are high, and we all understand what can happen when mistakes are made. However, as we all know, throwing more money and technology at the problem won't always make the problem go away. The simple reality is that the more connections we maintain, the more complexity we create. This complexity is not only a headache for IT, it creates real problems for the men and women actively working to make our infrastructure safe. But the complexity is made even worse when we understand the conditions in the field. I'd like to introduce you to a friend of mine, Timo. Timo is one of the many men and women actively involved in making our public infrastructure safe for you and I. One lesson that Timo and others have continually shown us is just how difficult it is to manage information when it lives in many places. If you look around Timo's desk in the back of his inspection van, it's easy to see how difficult it is to avoid duplication. Astute observers will note that Timo is using at least 3 different maps, each one representing information from a different point in time. The routes he will visit today, as well as those that have already been completed, are highlighted on a printout of Google Maps. Meanwhile, Timo is using Adobe Acrobat to create a PDF map describing the mainline inspection conducted by his team while running a closed camera TV camera inspection and recording his findings in another software application. And even though Timo is an expert at what he does, we can see just how easy it is for a simple error to make its way into one of these documents. And at the end of Timo's shift today, he'll return back to the office, where an entirely separate collection of paper documents, Excel spreadsheets, and physical maps compete for the attention of QA/QC teams. You do not need to work in IT to see the potential for error here. And that's why we created OnePlace, a single platform to connect your systems, data, and teams. For the past 4 years, we've improved OnePlace based on feedback and insights from gas and electric utilities. Today, we're excited to talk about 3 new products we're adding to the Unearth product family. Our first new product will allow you to manage work more efficiently using near real-time geospatial intelligence to help your field and office understand the status of work in the field. And thanks to our partnership with Trimble, we're excited to share with you how Unearth's high-precision field applications can help you capture ground truth with greater accuracy. Wrapping up today's presentation, I'm going to share with you some of the first several of new data management features allowing you to share one story between your field and office teams. Here to tell you about our core product, OnePlace, is Ali Fury. Ali, over to you.
Great, thank you, Nate. It's super exciting to be here with all of you today to introduce our OnePlace platform and to announce our newest product capabilities. I'm the product designer and product design manager here at Unearth. So at a high level, that just means that I have the privilege of working with just about every other functional role within our company. But I also get to work with and hear from our customer partners, some really incredibly insightful people, hardworking in roles not unlike yours, in industries facing some truly daunting challenges. Before we jump in, I'd also like to reiterate the message of thanks that Nate and others have extended, because we absolutely could not have designed or built these products without these partnerships. Okay, so as a starting point when designing any solution, we set out to fully understand the problems and the pain points that are preventing you from being able to adopt new technology, problems that prevent you from moving faster, problems that prevent you from working more efficiently. Now, we have seen some remarkably clever, low or even no tech workarounds out there that do get the job done, but often cost valuable time that simply cannot be recovered. Among the many, many things we've learned, it was clear that we had to make it fast and easy to get your data in and real value out. So first, we'll talk about how a unified storage solution with map-based digital tools can help your organization streamline asset management. We'll then hop in and take a look at how you can get more out of that data you already have, with features to import and enhance your legacy files with a geospatial dimension. And finally, since we have continually heard from our customers about communication gaps between the office and field that cause delays, or worse, gaps that result in rework, we'll show you how One Place can help you there too. Of course, you know where you need to go. You know that it's time to digitize every process and to step off that paper trail once and for all, to let the technology do what it does best so that you can focus on the real work to be done. It's time to have field teams working with immediate feedback from coordinators and quality control. They should not be waiting days or even weeks to find out about an issue with the data they collected or the documentation. So how do you make that goal, the true digital transformation, your reality? It doesn't have to be hard, and it doesn't have to be uphill all the way. So let's get going and take a look at how the One Place platform can help to set you up for success and help you go the distance. Managing inspection and maintenance documentation is tricky. It's tricky for a number of reasons. You're working with a wide range of tools, producing an even wider range of file formats. Hard copies change hands from step to step. And it's tricky to track, it's tricky to version and organize. And as for keeping it updated and accessible for when a quick decision needs to be made, well, that's even trickier. But One Place can help. With our map-based tools, it's fast and easy to add and edit data. It's even faster and easier to find it when you need it again. Now, maybe your staff includes GIS specialists, but without costly and time-consuming training for the rest of your team, geospatial knowledge often gets lost in translation. With One Place, all team members can use and benefit from geospatial intelligence at a level appropriate for their role or the task at hand. In these times defined by so much change, so much volatility, and so many unknowns ahead, maintaining that single source of ground truth is critical for risk mitigation and preparedness. Okay, so adding net new data as work is completed looks pretty easy. It looks fast, great. But what about all the data sets and aging systems that don't play nicely with, well, anyone or anything, or even those historical records that are just languishing in boxes in that dusty file room? Well, more good news there. We've designed One Place in a way that can work with the tools and asset information you already have to unify and enhance that data. Simple integrations, map-based organization allow you to see old data in new ways. So forget those DVDs, forget those potentially faulty hard drives. One Place ingests inspection videos and other media and stores them with georeference to the rest of the communication packet. So the full story is clear should you ever need to tell it. Also, PDF plans, drone surveys, blueprints, as-built, you name it. You know they have historical value, but it's challenging to store them and even more challenging to visualize them together in any kind of meaningful way. So with the simple import options in One Place, you can consolidate files from various point solutions. You can process and pin these assets to the map to enrich your legacy data with geospatial context. Need to use One Place data in another system of record that your organization may rely on? No problem. Just choose from one of the many export formats and take that data with you. Now, I'm sure many of you know this next story all too well. Inspection and maintenance projects are often delayed by things like incomplete information, slow data transfer, duplicative manual processes, just to name a few. And it's painfully obvious that when time is wasted, money goes with it. But these costly issues can be significantly reduced, even eliminated, when all updates are made in one platform in real time, when team members are able to ask questions, review work, and provide feedback within the context of an asset, when information needed to make timely decisions is available from anywhere. Well, OnePlace can help here too, help you to close that gap between the field and the office. No more piecing together various email threads to figure out what is missing or who needs to follow up on what. When your whole team has a complete project overview, a clear understanding of their responsibilities with a fast and easy way to communicate, well, collaboration just clicks. Speaking of collaboration, let's now look at our first new product offering in the Unearth lineup, work management. Now, no doubt everyone here has some experience with some flavor of work management software, perhaps many flavors even, and maybe you've even tried a solution that appends or integrates a GIS component. Unearth's work management solution is built on top of OnePlace, employing the power of geospatial intelligence to help you manage all types of projects more effectively. It can also fit right into your existing Execa framework. When issues are identified, office staff can quickly plan and schedule work. Field teams can then execute and document that work so that your QA teams can easily close out. And you can rest assured that all requirements have been satisfied. When assets and work are managed on a single platform, you can efficiently analyze performance and progress, so you can optimize current operations and future decision making. With powerful filtering and search tools paired with clean and clear map-based visualizations, it's easy to track status and progress relative to scope and track work as it happens. Quickly assess the who, the what, the when, and the where for each project. But what about questions such as, what else has happened here in the past that may inform the present work to be done? Or what else is currently happening close by that may impact scope or timeline? When you can easily answer these questions, you'll be better prepared to explain the why behind your decisions. And better yet, other stakeholders can see and understand that why for themselves. When you use work management with OnePlace, you'll unlock geospatial insight so that you can better manage risks and budget considerations, provide transparency for all stakeholders, including those in the field. And Gabe will share more on empowering those field teams in just a moment. Another lesson learned from our partners is that one size or one shape does not fit all projects. Even within the same department, with the same teams, doing the same type of work, documentation requirements may vary regionally or change quarterly. Now, sure, a square peg can possibly be forced into a round hole, but when you are responsible for making sure that the right people are on the right tasks and have the right tools to gather the right data, you need flexible workflows that are fast and frictionless. Maybe your organization has even developed an internal solution to organize and track teams, but maintaining it, improving it, well, that often competes with other priorities, as you know. So updates are slow to materialize and don't keep pace with changing requirements, certainly don't allow for quick optimizations. With OnePlace and work management, you have control over how you represent physical assets, work items, and project collateral. You control the workflow. In just a few minutes, Nate will show you how easy it is to also include the appropriate contextual data to get new projects off the ground as quickly as possible. We've made it simple to assign ownership, set permissions, and organize communications around assets and work items. You can also set up automated form properties to streamline those daily tasks, such as budgeting and aggregating. Go ahead, put these processes on autopilot and watch productivity and velocity soar when all team members have access to the tools they need, to the data they need to make informed decisions and move the work forward. Now, managing work is ultimately about managing people, which means you need to ensure that each person has the appropriate access level to the information for their role. When dealing with complex processes, a diverse set of users, and sprawling territories, it is imperative to standardize and simplify operations as much as possible. With in-app communication tools, both office and field teams can ask questions, address issues quickly, get answers when they're needed. All work items are easily retrievable for the future. Real-time feedback and status updates increase transparency to keep everyone aligned on goals and requirements. So now we've walked through just a few ways that One Place with Work Management can help you get things done today, can help you optimize for the future. Check out tomorrow's product showcase session for a more in-depth look at how to get started with custom workflows. And now I'll turn it over to Gabe. He's going to show you how Unearth's field applications address the challenges of collecting high quality data in the field.
Thanks, Ali, and thank you, Nate, for the earlier introduction. And hello to everyone out there. My name is Gabe Martinez. I'm a product manager here at Unearth, and my focus is field applications. So I'm really excited to talk to you about how field applications fit within the context of a broader geospatial work management platform. So we've talked about keeping everything in sync and reducing mistakes and points of failure. So we should think about those problems now in terms of the entire workforce, whether they're in the office or in the field. So that's more people entering information, following different processes and using different tools, especially if you have multiple different vendors working on the same project. So how do we effectively connect all of that? How do we connect that solution with the central solution? And how can we get everyone to funnel their contributions in a consistent, standard way directly into the same repository? The answer to that is mobile apps and mobile devices, because they can help us short circuit that connection. They're the perfect providers of location and spatial reference, and we take them with us everywhere. However, in order to be effective extensions of a work management platform, field applications should prioritize quality, coverage, and usage and usability. Quality in the sense that when capturing all the information and the ground truth, the best quality of it is at the source. Coverage in the sense of covering the entire territory, regardless of connectivity. And usability, to make it easy for everyone to get going without much, if any, training. So a component of quality is the precision of the location data, and capturing this precise location is a challenge without the right instrumentation. And traditional mobile devices alone are insufficient. We continue to hear from our customers, we can't trust our data today. So now from the perspective of a field user who is looking at the GPS device while reading it, writing it down, and maybe reciting it over a walkie-talkie, all while pushing a walk wheel, operating an underground locator, or simply carrying a paint bucket. That's a lot of multitasking. And a lot of multitasking could compromise the quality of the data entry and could put the success of a project at risk. Another aspect of quality is the context around the data captured. In short, visuals. Crews take pictures, capture video, or sketch what they're looking at to ensure good decisions downstream. And simply put, the risks of capturing low quality data are too great. They can result in breaking infrastructure unnecessarily, or even putting employees and customers at risk in the worst case. One way to guarantee quality is to integrate with a survey grade, high precision location provider like a Trimble device. Whether you're adding new assets to the map or editing existing entries, how awesome would it be to have all of that information flow automatically to everyone in the project, out in the field or in the office, right out of the Trimble device? It's not just awesome, it's sometimes necessary. It is also necessary to paint an accurate picture of the field. So a field app should help field users do just that. by allowing them to add multimedia, whether it's photos or videos, within the same solution. All of these components really make up the quality of the data. As far as covering entire territories, I think the biggest challenge that field crews deal with is unpredictability, part of which is unpredictable connectivity, specifically going into areas with no service. These are a big challenge when thinking about a connected solution. If the project territory includes either a remote area far from cell towers or an area affected by a wildfire, a hurricane, or any other disaster that would compromise connectivity in the area, field crews will often find themselves going in and out of the area several times before being able to even start the work, whether it's to collect their tools, get the list of addresses they forgot, and all of this really should be avoidable. So what do? An effective field solution can support field crews everywhere. Data collection should be consistent, even when covering areas with no service. The solution should give users the ability to work offline, which means allowing field crews to select specific regions within their territory, downloading what they'll need to their local device so that the work doesn't have to be interrupted for lack of cell service. But still, if the work done offline is separate than that done while online, it can lead to mistakes in transferring data. In our app, the online and offline maps are one and the same. The downloaded regions are part of a greater map. The work done offline synchronizes with the rest of the project once the device reaches either cell service or a functioning Wi-Fi connection. This seamlessness really ensures all updates are made on one platform in real time, or as real time as connectivity allows. So what about training? There are a few problems specific to field crews that scale up the cost of onboarding field users onto a field solution. For example, projects that go through RFPs or open bidding can yield a high turnover user base. Plus, extending the solution to the field naturally sort of folds in a new set of diverse users with a wide spectrum of tech savviness, from folks with low exposure to tech to digital natives. Again, users will be already juggling a variety of tools in the field, which could lead to a little bit of resistance to yet, quote unquote, one more tool. So to solve this, the barrier to entry should be very, very easy to clear. There should be no requirement for expertise when using a mobile app, whether it's in maps, GIS, surveying. Really, the field application should help users get going without friction. The app should reflect the work being done in the field with the right toolkit tailored to the work, including whatever the workers will need, whether it's representations of physical assets, forms, or whatever tool they need to work. And to the extent possible, field applications should be user-centric to be effective. We need to understand the user base, their problems, and how a mobile app fits their field ecosystem. That way we can constantly improve the experience for field users to ensure that it is used and that the app serves its purpose and it's not just an app downloaded onto someone's phone. To catch the field applications in action, tune in tomorrow for the product showcase, and Jay will walk you through our apps and how they work live. Now back to Nate, who will talk about data management and how critical it is to operationalize the data captured throughout a project.
Thank you, Gabe. During his discussion of field applications, Gabe noted the importance of products that help save time for your workforce with low to no training. That's why I'm so excited to share with you all our new capabilities around third-party data sets. With third-party data sets, you'll be able to add rich public data sets to your maps, reducing the risk your work crews arrive at an address that no longer exists or waste time driving to a location where an inspection cannot be performed. And continuing the theme of low to no training, I'll show you how your existing Word and Excel templates can be populated with rich field data directly from Unearth. Before sharing more about these features though, it's important to understand how these data management tools fit into your broader digital ecosystem. When we talk to utilities and government agencies about the problems facing their businesses, we inevitably hear two fundamental problems. The first is there's an app for that. It's not uncommon to hear of field crews relying upon multiple smartphone apps to complete their work. The second is there's an infrastructure for that. While each cloud provider attempts to build their own moat, many of us are attempting to diversify our risk, deploy across multiple systems. Inevitably, what ends up happening is that these reports from one side don't line up with another. Meanwhile, tools like Excel spreadsheets, Access databases become the glue linking these systems of record together, in essence, becoming new systems of record entirely. That's why this year we're building Project One Story, an event data streaming platform that will allow you to track every change across every job, incorporating fresh open data from counties, municipalities, and academic institutions. Our goal is to make it easy for you to maintain one story of how work was completed in the field so you can spend more time focused on your program's operational goals. I'm excited to introduce our first data management project named Datasets, which will allow you to view geospatial libraries of parcels and building outlines in one place. All of us here today understand that physical addresses do not remain the same. That's why we make it easy to pull in frequently updated geospatial data sets to reduce the chance your field crews can't complete an inspection due to an inaccurate map. But the data available to us in this digital age is so much more interesting than just parcels and building outlines. To me, visualizing real estate records, while critical for many tasks, doesn't capture the true possibilities of what you'll soon be able to achieve with Unearth data sets. Let me show you a peek. For many utilities here, deploying the right crew at the right time to the right place is a critical part of the job. Heavy rainfalls can create havoc for field teams inspecting critical infrastructure. Predictive models, like the one you see here, can help your dispatchers divert crews from areas where work simply cannot be completed and divert those people to other high priority areas. With data sets, it's now possible to bring actionable insight and field operations together in one place. We'll help you find the best data available for your needs. And thanks to my conversation with John Stock earlier, I know exactly who to ask. Let's see another example of how data sets can bring situational awareness to the field. We're working right now with the U.S. Air Force Recruiting Center to answer the question, if a wildfire breaks out near one of our 1,000 U.S. stations, who will be impacted? When your teams and data are in one place, it's significantly easier to visualize team territories and their proximity to emerging threats. For instance, we're actively working with experts from academia and private industry to provide local and regional news events inside Unearth so that your team can make a decision when minutes matter most. Stay tuned this year as we continue to improve upon data sets and find new ways to bring geointelligence into your field ops. We've talked a little about how we can help prevent inspections in unsafe areas. Let's switch gears though and talk about how One Place puts data management help after the inspection has been completed. One question we frequently hear from utilities is how can we share One Place data with others as quickly as possible? That's where custom reports can save your team time and money. Many utilities are required to use specially formatted templates for reporting inspection progress with external teams and agencies. That's why we make it easy for you to publish these reports from within Unearth. No more forcing your staff to painfully copy and paste data from one system into another Excel or Word document. Simply provide Unearth your template and we'll help your team generate pre-filled reports with the click of a button. At this point in the conversation, if you're not impressed, I won't take it personal. We understand that each utility here is progressing along their own digital transformation, and some teams might need more than what I showed from custom reports. We know that sometimes the best tool for the job is the one you already have. For our friends working in the office that don't want another place to find their data, we're working on exciting new capabilities that will allow you to consume Unearth data from Power BI, Tableau, and view live layers of data in near real time from public data sets. At Unearth, we believe your data deserves fewer moats. That's why we'll continue to build data solutions that not only work for your field teams and back office, but also work well with your existing enterprise IT systems. At Unearth, we believe that your people, processes, and data work best when they're in one place. We're confident of this because of the thousands of hours we've spent working alongside many of you to make our products more intuitive, efficient, and cost-effective. Over the past 4 years, we've been inspired by your desire to work with us to solve your most pressing problems. Today, we're excited to give back and share new ways we can all work together through geospatial work management. On behalf of my colleagues at Unearth, I'd like to thank you for your time today. Let's open up to Q&A. All right, so we'll take our first question here. How long do these custom forms take to create? Ali, I would actually love to get your experience, as this is something that you've frequently worked with and helped us build out, if you're still around.
Yes, absolutely. Gosh, it's one of the trickiest parts of asset and work management is creating the information architecture that makes sense for your organization. But because of our no-code customization, we're able to meet you where you are. So any existing processes, any existing data capture requirements, our customer success team can work very closely with you to quickly get those forms up and running, depending on how many different asset types we're talking about. But one of these forms can actually be built in just a few minutes, even seconds, depending on how many forms there are and how many fields you want to capture. But again, it's just quite easy. We have just about any kind of form control type that you can imagine in any web form you're experienced with. And some of the true power comes from the automated form fields I mentioned that are able to help you aggregate and roll up some of the information that's spread across your projects into a single view.
Wonderful. Thank you, Allie. So another question from the audience we have, is your product cloud-based? What is it hosted on? Yes, it is a cloud-based product. We are currently located on AWS, but our technical infrastructure is such that if you have another cloud you're using, let's talk. There's ways to work around this. Is it possible to share a visualization or view via URL or embed? Yes, so one of the capabilities our system provides today is the ability to just simply link information to external places. So for instance, one of the things that we're working with one of our vegetative management utility customers is bringing in utility data from their sensor network. So specifically camera feeds that are coming from different locations. We can very easily take these URLs, post them into the product, and then have those camera shots taken. So we do provide URL linking capabilities and the ability to share your assets that way as well. Another question, does it work with Android and iOS? Gabe, this sounds like a great question up your alley.
It does, yes. We have iOS and Android native apps that connect to a central, it's all one platform, but yes, it works with either, as well as mobile web browsers as well.
Wonderful. And what type of integrations are available today, Gabe, just in terms of some of the things that we've been building on the product side? Can you tell me a little bit about some of those integrations that are coming out?
Yeah, so there are, it depends on whether it's data integrations or device integrations. I'm just going to talk about the device integration with Trimble. So we just released an integration with Trimble devices whereby we get high precision location from a Trimble device straight into the app. So it's part of sort of the data capture, and in the location we can get sub-meter precision on the location on any asset on the map that's added by or updated by that user. So that's one type of integration. We also have other types of integrations with other systems for files. The Procore integration comes to mind. Yeah, we have I would say this, we have a pretty extensive integration surface area. So we can integrate with different data standards and different devices. So interested in hearing more about that in the future.
Yeah, definitely. And as Gabe mentioned there, we have a host of other integrations that we're working on this year. From the data side, one of the first things that we're looking at is better ways to integrate with existing Esri products. Tools you're already using like Tableau, Power BI, any of these systems. SQL Server is another one that we've worked with in the past. So the best thing to do is just to contact support and sales and get a conversation going on what your needs are. And let's talk about how we can get you there. All right, we've got one other question we have here is, how secure is the data? Well, you can rest assured that the data that you store in Unearth is locked up in the same restrictions with the same security practices upheld by Amazon Web Services, as well as everything that Unearth has done and put our platform into the AWS infrastructure. We are under a SOC 2 compliant security protocol, which means we are frequently audited. All of our systems for penetration testing, making sure that these systems are secure and that your data cannot leak out of your purview. So security is always an ongoing practice. It never stops. There's never a point where you can say, hey, we're there, we've arrived. The important thing to note is we're using the best-in-class security tools to keep your data secure, and we're routinely auditing these things on a weekly and then monthly basis to make sure that your data is secure as it needs to be. Last question. Is there any way to view risk models in Unearth? Yes. So for instance, if you're working with Esri products or other GIS tools today and you have risk model data, this is one of the things that we work really well with in terms of helping you visualize it and put it into one place. As you know, data comes from many different places and have very many different limitations on it. That's one of the things that the data management team really works with our customers to understand their needs, what type of data they have, and the best way to visualize it. So the short answer is absolutely yes. We can visualize your risk models, and we look forward to doing so. With that, I'd like to thank everybody for attending our session today.